Our next author wrote a book that resonated a year ago, but now I know there are a lot of people getting ready to go back to work and they are wondering why their clothes don't fit. It may be because you have not heard Sue Seal's book, My Clothes Fit Again, The Overworked Woman's Guide to Losing Weight. Sue, we all need this book right now. Now it's available on audiobook, so there are no excuses. Tell everyone about this book.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Angela. It's so nice to see you. And it's such an honor to be with all these beautiful authors. I'm humbled to hear all of their stories and I can't wait to read them. My book,
There it is.
here it is. Yeah. Okay. The Overworked Women's Guide to Losing Weight. I wrote
Now we're overworked at home. We're overworked working for home. We're overworked homeschooling. We're overworked cooking. Now we got to add a garden, apparently. We can't go out to eat. Like, what is happening? I was excited about your book before, but now my clothes really don't fit. So now I need your book this time. Wow.
No, you are so amazing. Oh my gosh. But it's true. Exactly what you're saying is, we thought we were overworked before when we were going to work and juggling kids in the house and everything, but we had it figured out a little bit of how we could do everything, but we were still not really putting it all together even then. Now we have the kids at home. Like you said, people are gardening. People are, grabbing food because they're scared. They're fearful. They're angry. It's when your clothes don't fit, there's a shame there too. And what I want to try and do to help these women realize is sometimes we just have to go inside and realize that we are an honor just to have this body. Our bodies are so gorgeous. I mean, if we would just learn to listen to what they're saying to us, I think we wouldn't beat ourselves up emotionally and mentally so much, because I see women all the time that they'll be juggling like you're doing right now, the kids. Like, I talked to one lady from Philadelphia just yesterday, and she was saying, now I'm homeschooling my children, and they're under the age of 9, and one has a mental disability, and yet I'm still trying to keep the house up. I'm trying to keep my home, my family, my husband, all of the relationships together. And I think we beat ourselves up. And when we beat ourselves up, we release triggers from the past that make us maybe grab for food or grab for a drink, or grab for something to make us feel less threatened or less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think what happens to us is we release a lot of endorphins and cortisol all the time because women are different than men. This is another thing that's really huge. And if I were just able to grab women at this time, I would say, here we are structurally different than men, metabolically different than men. We handle stress so much different than men. We handle our lives different than men. Like, for example, I always say to my clients, okay, think of a woman's brain as spaghetti, right? She has to touch everything that she's working with in her life. She thinks about the kids, she thinks about the laundry, she thinks about the drive to work if she's late. She internalizes all of that stuff. Now, a man can compartmentalize things. He can say, okay, I think of his brain like a waffle. He's like in these little, it's square. He's got this little definition of, I'm going to work on this right now. And then when I'm done with this, I'll jump over into my other square. So what happens is we take on all of this and we can't really compartmentalize. And I think when that happens to us, our body starts to suffer just anatomically. I'm a physical therapist of many years, and then I went in to become an integrative nutritional health coach and a yogi. And what I see people doing is women cannot release the stress, and the stress causes their body to do its normal biological thing, release cortisol so we can handle the stress. But there's always a chronic low stress in a woman's life. And when that happens, we start to have hormonal imbalances. We start to look at food and gain weight just because of sometimes our thoughts. Our thoughts can cause us to even put shame in our body. And, what we think is what we feel. So we have to really control our thoughts, because when we think negatively about ourselves, we will act negatively towards ourselves. So there's one way of looking at it too. If we listen to our bodies, we can find out that we have digestive issues that may be causing.
Now I know what your door chime sounds like.
Sorry.
That's okay. So my close fit again, the Overworked Woman's Guide to Losing Weight. It's now available on audiobook. People need it more than ever. You cannot say your excuse for not reading Sue's book is that you don't like to read. You can put it in your ears as you're falling to sleep. And it's a really accessible way to understand and take action and make changes at a time we really all need to focus on our health. So Sue, congratulations. Amazing year, amazing book. My Clothes Fit Again now on audiobook.
Thank you, Dr. Angela. Thank you, Corey and Cheyenne and Tammy and everybody at your place. I just love all of you. And
shout out to a house captain. That's a first time one of our coaches got a shout out.
Her smile is like a beautiful blanket that just wraps you up and says, you can do this. It's okay. So thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. And I encourage everybody to jump on board with you and write a book.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much for saying that, Sue. I appreciate it. Congratulations.